Reynolds, how's it going?
Great. Why? What have you heard?
Ryan, this way, please.
Ryan Reynolds has just undone all of Blake Lively's efforts, completely dismantling their carefully crafted sob story on SNL. For months, Blake has portrayed herself as the victim in the media, accusing Justin Baldoni of harassment and attempting to ruin her reputation. This narrative gained traction, backed by her husband Ryan and a well-orchestrated PR campaign pressing all the right buttons. However, with Ryan's unexpected stunt on live TV, the entire facade has crumbled, leaving Blake to pick up the pieces. Now, let's take
Ryan, this way, please.
Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds arrived at the Saturday Night Live 50th anniversary event, posing for the paparazzi as if a $400 million lawsuit wasn't looming over them. It was their first public appearance since Justin Baldoni hit them with his own legal action, yet they acted as if all was well. Blake stunned in a floral gown, while Ryan kept it classic in a black tux, both seemingly prepared to face whatever came their way. But their body language told a different story. Blake, in particular, looked uneasy, clearly hoping to avoid any questions about the case. And for good reason. She feared her husband might say something reckless. Her worst fears came true when the show began. If you know SNL, you know the jokes are inevitable.
Ryan Reynolds, how's it going?
Great. Why? What have you heard?
Anyone else would have dodged the question or given a vague response unrelated to their ongoing legal battle. But Ryan Reynolds? He just had to turn it into a joke. Sometimes, a sense of humor can cloud judgment, and Ryan's response, "Great. What did you hear?" was a perfect example. The atmosphere in the room shifted instantly. The audience laughed, but not because it was actually funny, more out of second-hand embarrassment. It was a weak attempt to downplay the situation, and everyone saw right through it. The lawsuit was dominating headlines, and the "it ends with us" PR disaster was the talk of Hollywood. Yet, Ryan still chose to poke fun at it.as for Blake's reaction. If looks could kill, Ryan wouldn't have made it off that stage. She shot him a sharp glare, her expression practically screaming, "You could have just kept your mouth shut." The last thing she wanted was for their legal troubles to become SNL material, especially since her entire narrative was built around being the victim. Blake had been lying low since the lawsuits began, carefully avoiding direct confrontation. But Ryan? He shattered all of that in an instant. Since the scandal erupted in December 2024, he has done anything but take the mature route. Instead of stepping back and letting things unfold, he's turned the entire situation into a joke, first in Deadpool and now on SNL.
Come here, girl!
Who are you? Oh, I'm Deadpool. And I guess you're Deadpool too. But in here, everybody calls me Nice Pool. Oh my goodness, wait till you see Lady Pool. She is gorgeous. She just had a baby too, and can't even tell. I don't think you're supposed to say that. That's okay. I identify as a feminist.
In Deadpool, Ryan Reynolds used his character to subtly mock Justin Baldoni. According to reports, the character was deliberately designed to resemble Baldoni, mirroring his soft-spoken demeanor, his over-the-top feminist energy, and his advocacy against toxic masculinity, all while being portrayed as an absolute joke. To make sure the reference was unmistakable, Ryan even threw in a pregnancy-related jab, something Baldoni is widely known for speaking about. Baldoni's team immediately caught on and attempted to get Reynolds to back off from making such jokes. But does Ryan ever listen? Instead of toning it down, he doubled down, this time, on live television. During the production of the 2004 movie Blade, Trinity, Wesley Snipes and Ryan Reynolds didn't get along, mainly because Snipes couldn't stand Ryan's constant joking. In what was meant to be the final chapter of Snipes' Blade trilogy, Ryan played the role of Hannibal King, a fellow vampire hunter. Throughout filming, Ryan kept cracking what Snipes saw as pointless jokes, and he wasn't amused. Explaining their feud in an interview, Snipes stated, "Some of the things he did back in those days, that's not really my humor. I'm not tuned in that way. So I thought, well, it's a little over the top for me." After the movie, Snipes made it clear that he wanted no part in Ryan's brand of humor, as it often cut deeper than intended, and honestly, who could blame him? Especially given recent revelations that subtle bullying seems to run in Blake's circle. In an attempt to push her narrative of innocence, Blake claimed that Justin Baldoni repeatedly objectified her on set, finding ways to criticize her body and weight, essentially fat-shaming her. One specific example she cited was Baldoni allegedly contacting her fitness trainer without her knowledge, asking for her to lose weight within 2 weeks. The lawsuit further claimed that Baldoni justified this request by saying he was concerned about having to lift Blake in a scene for the movie. However, there was no such scene in the script.
Way through the process to take over the movie and used her PR people to try and destroy Justin.
His own lawsuit, Justin Baldoni refuted Blake Lively's claims, stating that while he did ask her trainer about her weight, it was solely to ensure he could safely perform a lift without risking injury, due to the bulging discs in his back. Baldoni's lawsuit further explained that the reason the lift scene never made it into the movie was that Blake herself refused to perform it, despite it already being rehearsed with a stunt double. He also claimed that he was actually the one subjected to subtle bullying on set, accusing Blake of making repeated derogatory remarks about his appearance, including once joking that he should get plastic surgery for his nose. It seems that subtle bullying disguised as...
After he got super famous from the first Deadpool, then things kind of changed. I think he was like, see, you guys see. And then I think he